fake HOA threatened disabled guests. News outlets crushed their fake authority. Have you ever wondered what happens when power-hungry bullies hide behind a facade of authority, only to face the consequences of their own cruelty? In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, a self-proclaimed HOA president named Karen unleashed a reign of terror that targeted the most vulnerable until her empire of lies came crashing down. It started innocently enough. Willow Creek was a close-knit community where neighbors waved from porches and kids played in cul-de-sacs. But when Karen, a middle-aged real estate agent with a penchant for control, declared herself head of a newly formed homeowners association, the neighborhood's peace began to fray. She wasn't elected, no one remembered a vote. She simply printed glossy flyers, slapped a logo on them, and started issuing rules. No bright-colored mailboxes. No cars parked on the street overnight. And, most controversially, no unsightly modifications to homes like ramps for accessibility. Karen claimed these rules preserved property values, but her real motive was power. She reveled in the fear her letters instilled, each one stamped with her self-designed HOA seal, demanding compliance or fines. Her primary target was Michael, a disabled veteran who had recently moved into a modest ranch-style home. Michael, confined to a wheelchair after serving overseas, had installed a sturdy wooden ramp to access his front door. It was a necessity, not a luxury, built with care to blend with the house's aesthetic. But Karen saw it as a personal affront. "It's an eyesore," she snapped at a neighborhood meeting, ignoring Michael's explanation. She sent him a letter threatening a $500 fine and ordered the ramp removed within 48 hours. Michael, calm but firm, refused. He'd fought harder battles than this. But Karen wasn't done. She escalated her campaign, targeting not just Michael but anyone who dared support him. The neighborhood whispered about Karen's tactics. She'd patrol the streets at night, taking photos of violations like untrimmed hedges or kids' bikes left out. She'd slip anonymous notes under doors warning of consequences. Most chillingly, she began targeting Michael's guests' disabled friends who visited for support group meetings. Karen cornered them in driveways, demanding proof they weren't living there, claiming her HOA bylaws prohibited excessive visitors. One guest, a young woman with cerebral palsy, left in tears after Karen berated her for parking in Michael's driveway. The cruelty was palpable, but Karen's fake authority went unchallenged until an unexpected ally emerged. Enter Lila, a retired journalist who'd moved to Willow Creek to escape the city's hustle. Lila had seen her share of corruption and wasn't fooled by Karen's facade. She noticed the HOA's lack of legal standing, no records with the county, no registered board, no transparency. Suspicious, Lila started digging. She knocked on doors, asking neighbors if they'd ever signed an HOA agreement. Most hadn't. Karen's association was a sham built on forged documents and intimidation. Lila's discovery was the first crack in Karen's armor, but it was Michael's quiet resilience that sparked the rebellion. The turning point came on a crisp autumn evening. Karen, emboldened by her unchecked power, decided to take matters into her own hands. Armed with a can of spray paint and a crowbar, she crept to Michael's house under cover of dusk, intent on defacing his ramp to force its removal. She didn't count on the neighborhood's watchful eyes. A teenager across the street, fed up with Karen's bullying, recorded the act on his phone. The video captured Karen in all her malice, spray painting "Remove this" in red across the ramp, then prying at its supports with the crowbar. The teen posted the clip online, tagging local news outlets. Within hours, it went viral. The confrontation that followed was electric. Neighbors poured out of their homes, drawn by the commotion. Michael wheeled himself to his porch, his face a mix of exhaustion and defiance. "This is my home," he said, voice steady. "You don't get to decide who belongs here." Karen, caught red-handed, tried to spin a tale of enforcing community standards, but the crowd wasn't buying it. Lila stepped forward, holding a stack of papers, proof that Karen's HOA was a fraud. "There's no record of this HOA ever existing," Lila declared, her voice cutting through the murmurs. "You've been lying to us all." The twist came when a familiar face emerged from the crowd, Mr. Thompson, the neighborhood's quiet handyman, who revealed he'd been coerced by Karen to draft her fake bylaws. Guilt-ridden, he confessed she'd paid him to forge signatures on the supposed HOA charter. His admission was the final blow. Karen's face crumpled, her authority evaporating as the neighbors' anger swelled. Someone called the police, and as sirens approached, Karen's bravado melted into panic. She tried to flee, but the crowd blocked her path, their phones still recording. The fallout was swift and merciless. News fans arrived the next morning, reporters swarming Michael's yard to interview him and Lila. Headlines screamed, "Fake HOA terrorizes disabled veteran and Karen's reign of lies exposed." The story spread beyond Willow Creek, picked up by national outlets. Karen's real estate business tanked as clients dropped her, unwilling to be associated with her cruelty. The county launched an investigation, uncovering a trail of forged documents and extortion attempts. Karen faced charges of vandalism and fraud, her once pristine reputation in tatters. Michael's ramp stayed and the neighborhood rallied to repair the damage, painting over Karen's hateful words with messages of support. But the real victory wasn't just Karen's downfall, it was the community's awakening. Neighbors who'd once cowered under her threats began meeting regularly, forming a real, transparent HOA to protect their rights. Michael became an unofficial leader, his courage inspiring others to speak up. Lila's reporting sparked a broader conversation about HOA abuses nationwide, with her articles prompting calls for reform. The neighborhood, once fractured by fear, grew stronger, united by a shared commitment to fairness. In the end, Karen's tyranny didn't just fail, it backfired spectacularly, proving that even the most vulnerable can triumph when truth and community stand together. Michael's ramp, once a symbol of conflict, became a beacon of resilience, a reminder that no one's home should be a battleground. What do you think? Where do you draw the line between community rules and personal freedom? Share your thoughts below.